Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Lori, welcome. Glad to have you. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to go over some of those journals that help me wake up. Valerie, welcome as well. We're just getting started here. Jill Martin, welcome as well. I know it's a little bit later, but I couldn't sleep. Wanted to show you some stuff quick. The reality that you exist in is an illusion. So this is what you got. Okay, you got the humans, which are very few. Then you got these devil dude chick things. Obvious, welcome. Glad to have you as well. We're just getting started. Also note the upper torso. It's like part dude, a little bit chick, whole lot of Satan, right? You know the deal. All right. Note the eye. See the eye in the background? Also the triangle. I missed stuff. God showed it to me. But this eye is in my journal. I was going to start with that today, but here it is. Note the point at the end of it. So this is the reality you exist in. Devil dude chick, top, right? So imagine you marry into this, let them grow together. You get out of college, right? But watch, we're just gonna go back. I think they're sketchy. Like I said, some of them have eyes like us. This thing's sketchy. See the bubble? All right, this dude's sketchy too. They're like maintaining him. They're like stitching in hair. But he got eyes like us, but sketchy. I'm telling you, they're all around you. We're gonna just go back a few frames. So here it is. Sketchy and sketchy. See the fold? So imagine it's after college. And you go to your girlfriend's parents' house. This is what you got. You got grandpa and grandma. Not really. You know that fold. This is top. Okay. Also, don't forget the pyramids in the background. So, grandparents. Now watch. There's a devil dude chick. There's also going to be a serpent in here, right? There it is. You know that face. So it's grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, the sketchy dude I showed you. And then your after college fiance. See the glass doll eyes? Pale synthetic skin. And this is what your reality exists of. The serpent, the devil dude chick, and the bots. See, they have eyes like us sometimes. They got them brand new, never used teeth though. And then look at the glass doll eyes. And if you just let this play, see it? This dude's sketchy. So you got mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, and your college chick. All of these people are pretending they're us. Devil dude chick, where's the serpent? There it is. You know the deal. There's the bot. Apply this to your real lives because they're all around you. So I want to show you a little bit about the stuff in the journals that I wrote. I haven't really looked through it since. Just paged through it a little bit. Child of God, welcome. Remember the eye I just showed you? See it? See all this stuff I wrote? The battery on this thing's gonna die very quickly. So I'm gonna switch this because I can still show you this stuff. if I turn this on. Otherwise, it's going to die. But look at all this. All of this. And then this one, too. And then this one here that we talked about last night a little bit. All of these are filled with stuff. This one here is the earliest one. And I wrote Bible verses. Isaiah 14. So this is the earliest stuff. Satan cast from heaven to earth. O morning star, you have fallen. He wanted to be God. He had the illusion in Job 1 to see if he could tempt Job. Job passed the test. And I have all these verses in here. And I'm just looking through this here. So all the see the castle I drew? I drew this picture of the castle. Okay, and I wrote 666 on it there. I don't know if you can see it. But it says evil never wins. So the castles here, the prisons, from what they tell you, the prisons from the 1800s, they're castles, and it's part of the progression of the illusion since the Tower of Babel. This is what I was talking about here. If that's what you have to use to show people, to get them started, you know what I mean? The old buildings, like the Taj Mahal, that white stuff, those are all built out of. Also, the Mormon church in Salt Lake City, all these certain looking buildings, those were the first ones. The Tower of Babel people. And then from there it went, I guess, downhill, but they're still grand buildings, but they're not as grand as those white marble looking ones. And I was looking for a date when I was writing these, because I have no memory other than a colored pencil, which was for this, the suns, and the different colors I made them. Because that's not normal. The yellow sun is gone, and we have a white one now. And it says here in parentheses, Daniel's 70th week, 7-year tribulation, he will go to war with God's people. That's why you have to be hidden with Christ and God. This is Revelation 14, gospel to the whole world. So that would have meant the truth. But I'm just looking. Yeah, see here, see Mary. I drew Mary here. It says, don't pray to her. We talked about that at some point. But I'm just looking through this. Here, so this is something. Angie, welcome as well. Glad to have all of you. So I wrote here, this is what I wrote. You can see it here. Okay, I'm just going to read this as I wrote it, because sometimes I don't even know what I was talking about, because I don't remember none of this. Size of the church or how rich they are don't matter. And then I did a $sign up here. We know about all of them. So this is me trying to figure out, I guess, how I was going to tell people. But then it says Jeremiah 5, An appalling and horrible thing has happened in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely. The priests dash pastors. Preachers rule on their own authority. And my people love it so. See it? Wrote that there. Then look at, I wrote Joel Osteen, and I wrote an arrow up to him, up to that. So that must be in Jeremiah 5. An appalling and horrible thing has happened in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, in parentheses. The priests, pastors, preachers rule on their own authority. People love it so. False prophets. And then it says Jesus' own words and an arrow. It is easier for a camel to crawl through the eye of a needle than for, someone rich to enter the kingdom of God, because this place isn't real. That's what all this stuff is taught. It's not real. It's they. They deceive the masses, yet they too are deceived. That's where their father is the father of lies. They. That's what I showed you at the beginning of this. And then I wrote 2 Timothy 4, false teachers, Christians. Correct, rebuke, encourage with great patience and instruction when you preach. And I wrote that down there at the bottom. I don't know why. And then we'll go to this next thing here. Yeah, see here? When reborn, I wrote this here. Live to please God, not man or your friends. You must be born again. And then it says John 3, Jesus' own words. Yeah. And then it goes on to say, I make known the end from the beginning. From ancient times, what is still to come, what I have said I will bring about. So that's something. It must be from Isaiah. And then I wrote, I am not ashamed of the gospel, the truth. And people are going to make fun of you for it. I'm telling you, scoffers and such. Yeah, and then it wrote John 6, only those known to the Father, will come to know me. And this is what I was writing when I first got back. And it just goes on with this stuff. A lot of the stuff that we talk about. I wanna go to the end of this and just see, and then we'll get to the other one. See, in here I wrote 1 Timothy 4, many will be lied to by false pastors, demons. See it? So I knew it. See it? False pastors, demons, imposters. They've crept into the church, no doubt. And when I was writing this stuff, I wasn't sure I was going to retain it. That's why I was writing all this. I was getting all this stuff, but I didn't realize it wasn't going anywhere. And then I wrote Psalm 147. God knows each star in the heavens by name. I was writing this stuff a long time ago. remember none of it. Yeah, see it right here. I wrote 1 John 4. Appear Christ-like. Pretend to help people. Religious deception. Revelation 13. Yeah. They reject God's law. In Daniel 7, kills God's people. Luke 12, yeah. And so what I'm talking about here, they hate you. They hate you. Inwardly, they're ravenous wolves. And then here, look at this. I drew this here. This is them giving themselves worldly power. See that? They're crowning themselves. They're anointing themselves. That's why I did that. I know this. And it says God will prevail. And it says, blessed are those who seek. And then it just ends there. You got to get it. It's an individual game, right? But I want to look through this other one. This other one here. This one's one of the later, like I said, the later stuff would be more potent. Yeah, see, already I got it here. So 2 Kings 6. See, I wrote this is a big one here, and I wrote from 2 Kings. I don't know if this is exact, but this is just what I wrote. So I don't know if it's word for word. The Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire. And then I wrote, God sends his holy ones to protect us in our time of need. Yeah, Elijah prayed for God to show servant those and what he couldn't see. And then, yeah, it says a successor of Elijah. So they couldn't see. So I already know that there. I know they can't see. And I was looking for examples of that at that time. And that's the example I got. But he could see it then. He could see a lot more. Yeah, see, then it's talking about people that get stuck. They get stuck on like the giants and the fallen angels and all that stuff. This is Genesis, fallen angels, the Nephilim, giants, Noah's time of the flood. And what I'm saying is, don't get caught up in that. And it says in Matthew 24 here, I wrote, as it was in the time of Noah, so will it be in the last days. People didn't wake up. Then I wrote something about technology. Started the downfall of people. It certainly did. But people get stuck on that stuff. And I just went on to write in here. Yeah, see here I wrote, the Catholic Church is a cult. Not at all Christians in any way, see it? So this is getting to be later stuff I wrote. Probably wrote this a decade ago. Haven't looked at it since. And then in Matthew's, like I said, it's an individual thing. It talks about making a big spectacle when they pray and when they give money or whatever they do. It says, don't let everybody see you or make a big spectacle of prayer. Just be specific. It says, do not keep babbling. Your Father knows what you need before you ask him. Then I put a smiley face. See the smiley face? Don't know. Then it says in Matthew 6, forgive those who sin against you, and Jesus will forgive you. And it says, do not store up treasures on earth, but treasures in heaven, because this place isn't real. This is, do not worry. Jesus will care for your needs. Yeah. Then I wrote early September, around the 15th. Dream, saw God on throne. See it? Where is that? That's what it says. So it'd be September 2012. Early September, around the 15th. Dream, saw God on throne. Zombie dreams coming lately. Yeah. All the stuff he was showing me. Look at it, and it says, Jesus never gave up on me. I shall make him proud. See it? So this is right at the time that I was being reborn. See, it says first, gas runs out in California. Then it says Catholic Church is a cult. Not at all Christians in any way. The two witnesses in Revelation may be Enoch and Elijah. Walked with God. I don't know where I got that from either. Like I said, this is just stuff I was writing. Two witnesses in Revelation, maybe Enoch and Elijah. Yeah, see, Jesus was God as a human, born of a woman, Mary, right? A human female. That's why the genealogy stuff throughout the Bible, that's why it exists, to show you the human bloodline intact. Mary, human female. That's important because I wrote that here a lot in other stuff too. Spread the gospel. Teach. Save someone from hell. Then I wrote, I will not let you down, Father. Don't give up on me. See it? In 2012. So it wasn't even back yet. See it? I will not give up on you, Father. Don't give up on me. I will not let you down, Father. Don't give up on me. 2012. I wasn't even back yet. And then it just ends there and it goes on. Something I can't even read. 1 Samuel 16. God anointed David as king. Yeah. It's talking about men, like the Catholic Church, like it was in the last page, giving themselves authority over men. But in 1 Samuel 16, God anointed David. Also, that would have to do with chosen by grace. Why I got drug out of here, no one else did. Then it says, tempted by evil every day. That's why it said, I will not let him down. It's not going to work. That's what I was talking about. Don't remember none of it. Also, I have a self-study Bible. It's a Bible that I could write stuff in. That will be good as well. I have to find that. I don't remember any of that either. But I just want to see what else is in here. Yeah, and then, I will not let you down. Don't give up on me. So it was me telling God not to give up on me because I was getting it. And it says in Luke 4, tempted by Satan, 40 days, 40 nights. I must have fasted to be closer to God, ate nothing. And it says Matthew 4, live by every word, including 4 horsemen of apocalypse. I don't know what that means. It said lightning struck the Vatican today. Must have been a long time ago. But I know that during your refinement, to be refined as gold, you know that. But I just knew it was never going to come up off Christ as my Savior, no matter what I was offered or given or anything else. That's why I wrote that. I will not let you down, Father. Don't give up on me. He didn't. Like I said, I'm kind of a dumbass. He's out there for a long time. And then we get into the sun. The sun being different, we know that. It says terrible times ahead. Real deal. So I don't know. I was trying to tell people what was coming. They don't care. They didn't care back then. See? Years to come. Hell on earth will soon be upon us. You can see I was writing it right here. See it? Hell on earth will soon be upon us. Evil is all around us. Many people who don't see will soon start. Ha! I was wrong on that. Or maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was just a little early. Maybe they will. You understand? Because maybe somebody didn't see back then. But I knew it back then. To realize there is good and evil all around us. God equals Jesus is the real deal. See it? I just wrote all this stuff. I don't remember none of it. Horrible times are coming to earth. I wrote that again. The breakdown of everything. There will be nothing. It says EMP. From they, no power. Born again. See it? It says born again. Must be born again. But all of this stuff, economic collapse, you must be born again to be saved. And it says here, soon, everything will change forever. We need to call upon Jesus for forgiveness and mercy. Yep. Yeah, Acts 2. Pillars of smoke. Has something to do with the chemtrails. That's why I wrote signs in the heavens. People get stuck on that. Many strange anomalies. That's what I wrote here. Many strange anomalies. McBear, welcome. James, welcome as well. And it says Matthew 13, blessed are your eyes, for they see. And then it says Luke 10, blessed are the eyes that see what you see. So I know I woke up by this point. Deuteronomy 31, do not fear or be in dread of them. I wrote that. They have no authority over you. I knew that. So I was awake in this. That's probably why I finished this one and then wrote like 10 pages in the new one and then just stopped. The latest one, I don't even know, long time ago. Because I knew it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't going anywhere. All this stuff I was getting, I didn't know if I was going to have to remember it or what, but once you tap into that vine. Then it says Proverbs 3, finds wisdom, gets understanding, more precious than jewels. And it says Proverbs 16. See, I did all the work. Like I said, show your work. I showed my work way back then, and I can use it now again. Because I have to hold a cell phone. Then I manually have to go through the Bible. Then I have to, show my work on the TV and everything else. This makes it a whole lot easier. But it says proper. I wrote all this. You can see it's just written here. All this stuff. Proverbs 3 finds wisdom, gets understanding, more precious than jewels. Proverbs, I think 16. How much better to get wisdom than gold? To get understanding is to be chosen. That's what, Proverbs 16. How much better to get wisdom than gold? To get understanding is to be chosen. Again, I don't know if this is word for word, but no doubt I was awake and I was back. This is right at the end. Matthew 13, let both grow together until the harvest. Again, I was still looking for who else, but the angels knew. We talked about that. The angels said, who are these people? Where'd they come from? He said they were sown among the wheat. They said, you want us to bundle them up and burn them? God said, no. Let them grow together till the end, because you might uproot some wheat. That's what I was talking about there. Matthew 13, let them grow together till the harvest. See it? All this stuff in this whole book, and all this stuff in here, and all the other ones. We'll go through that Bible. That should be pretty good, like I said. Next one. Matthew 25, separate sheep from the goats, they from us. We know the bots, the body without the soul is dead. Matthew 24. See? 2 men in a field, one taken, one left. Imposter. The one that was left is the imposter. See it? That's what it's talking about. Imposter. Because it's going to appear as husband and wife. Devil dude chick. That's what that verse is talking about. I retained that. Retained all of this. I just don't remember writing it. And that's what Matthew 24 is talking about. 2 men in a field, one taken, one left. But with worldly eyes, it's going to look like a husband and wife. Same with the 2 women at the grinding thing, right? One will be taken and one left. The human female is going to be taken, but it's going to appear as husband and wife. That's what I was talking about. human, Abraham's seed. I don't know what that means. Matthew 13, seeing they not see, neither do they understand. That's important. Understand with an exclamation point. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The understanding is the most important. Then it says, John 10, I have sheep not of this fold. We talked about that. Until you have to do the individual thing until you can do anything for anyone else. Romans 1, backwards women, backwards men, contrary to nature. Romans 16, hidden long ago, now revealed. Luke 4, God has anointed me to preach the gospel. So I knew it then. And then it just ends there. And then it goes here and it just goes blank. See how blank it is? But it says here, this last two things I wrote in this one. Always learning, never able to acknowledge of the truth. 2 Timothy 3. And then I said Romans 1, inverted women. So we're talking about they here. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the end of that one. And then we get into this one here. Like I said, this is the last one. I'm just trying to see what the last thing I wrote in here is. The last time I wrote in here. The last thing I wrote in here. This is the last page. It says, the eyes. Then it says, Matthew 11, among them born of women. Exclamation point. It's probably what we were just talking about. I don't know what these verses say. All I know is what I wrote in here. Among them born of women. So he was born of a human female. That's the last thing I wrote in here. Let's just go back a couple pages here. And just see what, or we'll go to the end of that other one. This is funny. Look at this. So here it is. This is the, see this here? See the imposters. Hooded eyes, give them away. Glass doll looking eyes, give them away. Pale synthetic skin. Clony. Beef jerky skin. I don't know what that means. Inverted broad shoulders. Hooded eyes fold above eyes. That's what I wrote. It's like I said, this is the last one. But I knew, I had to know by this point that it wasn't going away. It says Isaiah 47, they are cursed. Their kids, their spouses, cursed. Isaiah 47, I don't even know what's in it. It also says something about Ephesians 6, I think. And then I read this part, these last two here, yesterday. It says, in Psalms, their evil shall slay the wicked. And then it says, Ephesians 5, do not partake. So you have to teach people to come out from, see, I don't know what I was thinking at this time that I was writing this stuff, but it has to do with they. No doubt. They hate us. They hate you. And that's why I was writing in Psalms 34. Because you know the deal. Satan and the fallen angels are going to get injected into this bubble, this raindrop. And once they do, per the illusion of a fake alien invasion or something. The worldly term would be Project Bluebeam and or such. Roswell, Area 51, whatever crap they use. But when Satan and the fallen angels get cast into here, they're going to expose and exterminate all of their own, this all day, to deceive as an angel of light. And that has to be what I was thinking about in Psalm 34 here. Evil shall slay the wicked. And then it says Ephesians 5, do not partake. It means stay out of the world. No doubt. Same stuff I say now. And then that's what we talked about yesterday in Isaiah 13, last days. A real man will be as rare as gold. Then I wrote the others. I have sheep not of this fold. John 10. Like I said, that's about understanding who you are. False teachers, 2 Corinthians 11, imposters transform into apostles of Christ. They preach another Jesus than us. The hippie. Like I said, I think I read some of this stuff yesterday, but not all of it, just a little bit of it. But guess what it's talking about? It's the hippie. False teachers, imposters, transform into apostles of Christ. They're not us. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. They hate you. They hate me. If they can keep you lukewarm your whole life, that's what they do. That's why they exist. Deuteronomy 29, things revealed to us. And that was just all I wrote for that one. And this is the last one here. This is the last, this journal here is the last one. This one is probably one of the earlier ones. And then I have that other one I have to get. But that Bible that I wrote stuff in, that'll be pretty good too. But that was before this. And then it says Deuteronomy 29, things revealed to us. That's it. Next line. You can see their abominations. So you can see they. Let no man deceive you. No thanks, welcome. Glad to have you as well. General, Black, everybody, glad to have all of you. This is an individual game. And what I can do is look back and try to show you a little bit of what I wrote down, because I remember zero of it. But I must have wrote it down because it's so awesome when you get it that you don't want to lose it. But I didn't know it wasn't going nowhere. It would get renewed in knowledge. It'd get way better. All of you will experience this. Like I said, since 2003. Basically my whole adult life. Yeah, see, it says Revelation 2. Imposters, synagogue of Satan, last days. Yeah, so this place is coming to an end. You know that. John 8. You will know the truth, and it will set you free. The truth, the foundation, the illusion. Once you get back in here, in this reality we exist in, you see it for what it is. It's a sham. None of it's real, or it's backwards than what it should be. Inverted. That's what I was talking about in all this stuff. It's backward. The whole thing is backwards. The whole thing. But always remember, what's happening here has nothing to do with you. To stay out there. When this place shuts down, The grid goes down, the fuel's gone, the stores are empty. Don't be all panicky. Just shut off with it. Draw near to Christ. That's all you got to do. But very few are going to do that. They're going to cling on to that stuff. Their house. They worked their whole life for it. Their cars. They still got payments on it. Everything. But at some point, they're going to get past that. It's going to be stages. And then they're going to run to the churches in their time of need. And they're going to run right to they. Imposters transform into apostles of Christ, right? They. That's what it says. That's what I'm talking about here in 2 Corinthians 11. Imposters. And that's who they're going to run to. They've crept into the church unaware. They're all dead already. The wicked will die twice. You know the deal. Very few are going to find it. We know that. Always learning, never able to acknowledge the truth. There's that word again. That's why it says here, as I'm talking about in John. See how I wrote John? You will know the truth, and it will set you free. So I knew this already. Then it says John 8:45, underlined. I speak the truth, and you believe me not. John, I think it's John 8, verse 40. I speak truth, and you believe me not. Nobody cared. I wasn't prepared for that. You think? People are going to wake up, and then they're going to wake people up, and it's going to be like a thing. Zero. They can't. God has hardened their hearts to believe the lie, the hippie, the illusion. I mean, it's way deeper than that. It's not real. That's what I was talking. Deuteronomy 29. So way back there, I was looking. It says things revealed to us. So I was looking, like I said, who else? That's why the other page it was talking about the angels asking about the wheat and the tares and where they came from and such. And then it must have said something in Deuteronomy about that. Somebody saw something, things revealed to us. And it says in 29, you can see their abominations. Oh, they're inverted. They're just backward. They show up here backwards. It's like, what's what I'm talking about. I didn't realize I had any of this stuff until I started. And I was like, oh yeah, there's all those things. And just looking through them quick. Showing my work saves a lot of time. But like it says here, and I put across John 8, you will know the truth and it will set you free. I speak the truth and you believe me not. 1 Peter 5, feed the flock of God. Teach for free, not greed. See, I talked about that one last night. I just wrote this stuff here. You can see I just wrote this page after page. But it comes to an abrupt end. This is the last. I didn't write 0 after this. I don't know when either. 2 Peter, I put a cross there. 1. Knowledge of God, seeing them. James 3, with knowledge among you. So I was seeing if any other people. That's why it talks about the 7,000, the elect. And we talked about that yesterday in Isaiah. Reserved 7,000. And then when he was talking about it, I think in Romans, he said, am I the last one? And he said, no, there's a remnant. And so flash forward now to 2022. A remnant of a remnant. Who even knows? But there is. The elect. You know that. Because for the elect's sake, if God didn't cut these days short, there'd be no flesh left. There'd be no humans left, but for the elect's sake. So yes, I can't be the last. That's what I was looking at it all. Is there any other ones left? And we read this in Romans 16. It says, avoid they. Yeah, we've talked about that. Do not partake with them. It says rather expose them or something in another verse. But here I just wrote Romans 16, avoid them in parentheses. I don't know who them is. Maybe the blind church people. I don't know. James 3. Wisdom from above is pure. Wisdom from above is pure. Like I said, it's not of me. That's probably what I was trying to tell people. Let them grow together till the end. The war has been won already. It's an individual game. It doesn't matter what happens here. It's not real. It's going to go on around you like being in a video game. You are hidden with Christ in God. And I think I read this last night, this verse. It says Romans 16, revelation of the mystery, kept secret since the world began, now made manifest. So I wrote that there in Romans. See, it says avoid them, and I put them in parentheses. So maybe you can look at what is that? Romans 16. Who is them? I don't know who I was talking about. Matthew 13. I put a big cross next to it. It is given to you to know the mysteries of heaven, but to them it is not given. We talked about that last night as well. That's why nobody can see it. It's not given to them. You have to teach it. If anybody was going to get raptured, it would have been me in 2003. And I'd be gone up in heaven, long gone, living the dream up there. But Satan's people are here putting in work. God drug me out there because I'm a dumbass. It took a lot longer. But he gave me all of this to teach people. He gave me all this to teach people. It's not for me to keep. I have to give it away. And I wasn't prepared initially for nobody to care. They can't. I didn't realize that. That's what it's talking about here. They can't, but to them, it is not given. See, I wrote that with an exclamation point. It is not given to them. They can't. They have to do the individual game first. The first thing they had to do is get rid of the hippie. How he looked, it doesn't matter. All the worldly aspects of it, and get back to just themselves and some time alone, just the book, and not read it from front to back, but focus in on the individual aspects of it. What do you need to do? But we don't have all that time like it took with me. We don't have that time. You're not as dumbasses as I was, because you're going to have to get it way quicker. Some of you might have to do it into the collapse, but it doesn't matter if it's not for you. That's why I put that big cross here, Matthew 13. It is given to you to know the mysteries of heaven, but to them it is not given. And that's what I was showing at the beginning of this. Let them grow together. They hate you, and they're pretending they're us. And the ultimate goal is to get you to sacrifice yourself to Satan by taking the mark of the beast. Other option, get you into a position where you can get devoured by Satan. Some imposter you goes on. Third option, just keep you lukewarm. That's pretty much the majority. Just keep them lukewarm. They went to church every Sunday. They gave their $20. They prayed to the hippie. You understand? And then it says, verse 13, I speak in parables because they see not, in parentheses, neither do understand. So they don't understand either. And it says, verse 14, they shall see, yet not perceive. And that's what it's talking about. They. And it funnels into that. That's the foundation of this illusion, is just about everybody. Not everybody, but just about everybody's fake. Right? Then, of the little bit that's real, the only little bit that counts, God has hardened their hearts to believe the lie. They can't. So where does that leave you? Satan's people ain't getting it. God can use them. Like I was talking about, I saw Moses in the river, right, in the basket, covered in like black tar. It's not cartoony. It wasn't like green bushy stuff. It was like black tar, and he was dirty. And they were down. The Pharaoh's daughter had one of her slaves, one of the humans, go get the baby. The humans were the slaves. But I can't see the Pharaoh's daughter. It's so bright. And that's because, no doubt, she was one of the serpents. Because God showed me he can use anybody. That's why I can't see her. But I know she's one of they. But he can use anybody. And then he grew up there in luxury as like a prince. But he knew he was one of us. He wasn't one of they. He knew that. The serpents had the humans as slaves. Let my people go. That's why I say it's always been like this. It's always been like this. Forever. God's done with this. Believe that. He got refined. Remember, he had to run out into the desert after he killed one of they, because they were beaten down on a human or something. I don't remember it exactly. But that didn't happen overnight. My stuff didn't happen overnight either. Jonah got swallowed by a whale. You can even read in there. God was trying to tell him stuff. Go do this stuff. And he wasn't hearing him. That's why I said, I wonder how long God was trying to tell me stuff. I just couldn't. Then at some point, he had enough of it and just drug me out. Never in a million years did I think that he had any use for me. I was just like everyone else. No different. But like I said before, I will not let him down. Don't give up on me. That's what I just didn't want him to give up on me because I was getting it. I'm glad I did. Because everybody is screwed. And it just goes on with that. Riches of men can't compare. You understand? And it says, many desire to see the things you see. Oh yeah, this is the end here. And this is what it's talking about. So it has a big question mark. It said, where did the tares, where did they come from? And that's what we're talking about. I don't know, but the moment Satan got that secret, the secret power of the lawless one is already at work. You understand? And then you just see just a few humans here. Spiritual God Warrior has a question. I'm asking Pastor Daniel. Read your comments. Let's stop and let's talk to Spiritual God Warrior. He's got something he wants to ask me. What's on your mind? You're live here on the show. Question is, who are Satan's agents? It's a pretty broad question. Who are they? Test the spirits. If you can't see them, test the spirits. So you're supposed to do anyway. That's what we're all supposed to do our whole lives. Test the spirits. If you can't see them. Then it goes on here. The harvest, until the harvest. We've talked about this. Burned up in fire. So it will be the end of this place. Luke 10, nothing will hurt you. Yeah, see, we read this one. This is in Psalms. And again, I tried to look back as far as I could. Like I said, back in like to Deuteronomy at least. Somebody was aware about the others, the illusion. Okay. No doubt it's way thicker now. Or in the last days. There was more humans back then. Psalm 119. Open my eyes that I may behold wondrous things. Also, we talked about what Jesus was talking about. He came to give sight back to the blind. I don't remember how he worded it. To give people their sight back. They can't see. Right? The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Nobody can see. And if they can't see, like the blind leading the blind into a pit, they that have crept into the church, they're not going to tell you any truth. So where do people get it from? The few that are left. They're going to get it, as we talked about, in real time during the collapse. They're going to have to do it individually. We all did at some level. But it's going to come down to an individual game. That's what they're going to have to figure out as this place shuts down. Just walk away from it. Everybody's real comfortable, right? They don't have a reason to even need God. Maybe once in a while they'll pray for something. But he'll say, I never knew you. But as this place shuts down, they'll be given that opportunity, the individual thing. But they got to do it. You can't do it for them. I can't do it for them. Even Jesus taught them in parables. He could have just told them what it is. They have to do the work. Discerned, welcome. Glad to have you as well. It's been a minute. Psalm 119. Open my eyes that I may behold wondrous things. John 12. He has blinded their eyes. So I just gave myself all the answers to any questions I ever had about it. because I had understanding at this point. Ezekiel 12, way back in the Old Testament. Eyes that see. Isaiah 6, blind their eyes. They can't see the imposters, the devil dude chicks, right? Let no man deceive you, the serpents, even the bots. The bots don't really count because forgive them for they know not what they do. But if you marry one of those, look what you get with it. You get a serpent and a devil dude chick at some level, and a bunch of other sketchy people. Let them grow together. How they look doesn't matter. What worldly title they have doesn't matter. None of it matters if they're the richest person or a homeless person. Doesn't matter. They're not us. So who they are is they are all around you. Period. Pretending they're us. And as soon as this place collapses, they're just going to get annihilated by Satan and the fallen angels. Once that restrainer's lifted, he ain't gonna annihilate the humans right away. The humans have to be deceived into taking the mark of the beast, or recanting their faith in Christ without even knowing it. And how's he going to get the humans to do what he wants to do? He's going to expose and exterminate all of his own. All of them, from the top down. Remember that. They have no value. Also refer to they. Right at the moment, Satan got the secret power of the lawless one is already at work. The exact moment. I bet you he just wiped all they out. Couldn't do it to the humans. He'll never get 0 humans here, even in Noah's day. And even at the end, he's going to cut these days short and return, or what? There'd be no flesh left. There'd be no humans left. Satan will never achieve that. But that makes you wonder what happened. The moment he got that secret power, all of his own got wiped out. Then you start seeing those black and white videos of the ships dropping people off. Standard issued propaganda stuff. That they show people went to Ellis Island, and they don't show their work though. Where these people come from? Well, Europe. How'd they get there from Europe? How'd they get to the coast, to these big ships? Just infinite people. They can't show their work. Then it goes on to say, this is, like I said, this is the last one here. It says a unnatural desire. Jude 1. They just don't know. Romans 1. They're women, really men. Inverted. Natural desire. Men with men look like women. See it? That's what I was writing. I was trying to tell people. And it says Jude 1. Strange flesh. That's why they're all like synthetic-y. Then Jude 1, it says, verse 23, save them, pull from the fire. Mark 16, preach gospel, every creature. So it said, don't judge. I'm not really watching the conversation, obvious. Who's the troll? Tell me who the troll is. You guys see a troll on here? Let me know. I just glance at it. Spiritual God warrior. What is spiritual God warrior saying? That's part of, they went out from us, but they were not of us, right? You guys remember that? We talked about that. They pretend they're us. So, well, spiritual God warriors here. Name them. I don't know who them, again, what are we talking about? Who are they? keeps asking, who are they? They. That's right. No thanks. No thanks answered it. They are fakes, imposters. Therefore, they have been named. That's right. I couldn't put them out there anymore than I already have. So, spiritual God waters, the synagogue of Satan. Revelation 2. Who are they? The synagogue of Satan. The imposter humans. That's what they are. God's people. God's true people. They're imposters. Synagogue of Satan. We just talked about that, didn't we? The synthetic, unnatural flesh. It's exactly what I was talking about right here. Jude 1, strange flesh. So we just talked about this right here. Jude 1, strange flesh, them. They're not us. Pretend they're humans. The humans are God's children, not the imposters. I don't understand. Name them. Spiritual God word. Name them. I don't understand. Your questions. Then it says in here, 2 Timothy 3, never understanding. Who's that sound like? Never understanding. Yeah, see, then I wrote it again here. I wrote hooded eyes, tells, synthetic skin, pale, perfect white teeth. That's funny. And I wrote Matthew 13 and Luke 10. But then I just stopped. And the last thing I wrote in here from Matthew 11. Among them born of women. Human female. Human female. Just remember, they're all dead already. All the church people. Everybody around you. Unless very rarely somebody might figure it out. They're all dead already. They're done. They're done already. No matter what they say. Yeah, spiritual God war. This is Revelation 9 verse 2. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. They're not humans. They're not us. If you see the Jewish people as people with their black suits on and their curly hair down to the side and all their theatrical stuff, that's not what it's talking about. It's not talking about, again, this is a shill or whoever this is with worldly eyes. With worldly eyes. That's it. They can't bypass Christ and go right to God because per the Old Testament, what they think they're doing, they can't do it because we've all fallen short of the glory of God. That's why he had to send Jesus. So they're deceived as well. Remember that. You have worldly eyes. You can't compete with me in anything. Get all your biblical scholars. Get them all. See who's left standing at the end. Get all your teachers. Get them all. We'll do it live in real life on TV. All your biblical scholars from all over the world. They ain't got nothing. They're all dead already. To challenge any one of them, anytime. We'll do it on TV live. And hopefully all their friends and family are there so they can watch how nothing they know in real life. Zero. You weren't out there, man. Right? You hear people say, you weren't there, man. I'm telling you, better wake up. Synagogue of Satan. All part of the imposter stuff. Men giving themselves authority over men, disguised as church. And then what it says is they see godliness as a way to get rich. Fall into that trap. They get devoured by Satan. And then some bootleg version of them goes on. And that's how it ends. Stay out of this world, or you will perish in it. No doubt about that. Here's a verse I just had opened here. I don't know if we've talked about this. Romans 1. Although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images. We talked about this, the hippie, made to look like mortal man, the hippie, and reptiles. And I wrote serpent next to the reptiles. So that's what they make them. The reptilians, the Dracos, bro. From Planet X. No, they're not. It's exactly what this says here in Romans. See it? That's why I highlighted it there. And I wrote serpent. Just like I said, reptiles, underlined. Just as I show you. For although they knew God. So they knew it. They knew, like we all get. We all get that foundation, the hippie, and the cartoon arc. But then from there, you got to put in the work. You're not going to get nothing until you start putting in that work. And it goes on to say, they exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshiped and served created things rather than the Creator who is forever praised. Amen. Created things. You know the deal. The hippie. The little baby angels with wings they put on Christmas ornament. The devil. I talked about that. Right? That red suit. The goatee. The little horns. The thing he carries. The pitchfork, right? The little, the tail. The whole thing. That's not real. I told you how I see him. It's like this black oil slick floating through infinite nothing. And this black oil slick has tentacles that reach up into this illusion, this raindrop, this bubble. And every one of those tentacles is a fake person. And you're hooking up with fake people that you think are hot chicks or hot dudes. And really, it's one of them sketchy tentacles at the end of the day. What you're hooking up with. You could call it a seducing spirit, like the Bible did. But it ain't no hot chick, however you look at it, even if you think it is. And with worldly eyes, they wouldn't understand. But that's a sketchy tentacle coming from that black oil slick that's floating out there. Just saying. And that's pretty much the reality we exist in. You got to be out there. You got to be out there as this world gets annihilated. If you're here, you get annihilated with it. Just simple. People aren't going to like that. They're going to argue with you. They're going to tell you stuff. Doesn't matter. They can argue all they want. Either they're going to acknowledge the truth. My people perish. It doesn't say my people perish because they know too much stuff. It says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. They never try. Again, the individual aspect, they're all dead already. Very few will find it. The parable, the narrow gate, right? Doesn't say infinite people will find it, though every one of them would raise their hand if you ask them who's going to heaven. 0, maybe just somebody by pure faith, which is going to be very rare. Very few will find it. But again, as soon as this place collapses, they'll be given the chance. Been given many chances. He's a God of great patience. That's why he just doesn't annihilate things. Imagine if he not took it like 2 years ago, or 5 years, or 10 years ago, or in 1997. You know, I would have got caught slipping too. Everybody's going to get caught slipping in one way or another if they're in this world. This is a deception, a veil, an illusion. It's not real. Yeah, and it's just what it is. Yeah, child of God says, disturbing to think someone you're with can drag you to hell with them. Yeah, they certainly can. That's why they exist. Be someone you grew up with. Could be anything. They only exist to keep you lukewarm or pull you into a wickedness or something. But even if you can't see them, if people like courtship, right? You get to know somebody over time, and you don't just hook up day one. Through courtship, you would know people better. And if you had a biblical foundation in testing the spirits, then you would get, a lot more answers, at least. Maybe not all of them, but I'm telling you, this place has changed drastically when this deception. Spiritual God warrior, the shill. How many times have you watched They Live? Just curious. You want to know why They Live exists? Because there's a lot of soft people that don't want to tell the truth. You want to know why they don't? Because they can't. They see it as an alien thing. They Live, the fake alien thing, right? That's why they did They Live. Propaganda by Satan. Dude, they're showing the truth, bro. No, they're not. They're showing you what they want you to think, that they're aliens. And then you focus in onto the alien fake deception, Project Bluebeam that's coming, because they've lost total control of their illusion. Satan's going to put an end to they. So They Live is a good example of propaganda in pulling you into a wrong way. That's why that exists, or it wouldn't exist. That's why They Live exists. More deception. They're aliens, bro. And that's what it's talking about in Romans 1. Although they claim to be wise, they became fools. They're stupid. Stupid. They're born stupid. They go through life stupid. And they leave this illusion stupid. And it's so fast, too. It's so fast. You think a life that's like 85 years is instantaneously. When you're out there, even 1 trillion years, 10 trillion years out there in eternal nothing would be instant. 10 trillion years wouldn't be worth selling your soul for. Because once you get out there, you just see it just go right by, because it's eternal nothing. How would you ever put time on eternal nothing out there? That's what man does. Man puts his spin on stuff because he's led by the serpent. He was a deceiver from the beginning. You know that. He deceived, right? When he said, God saw them hiding, right? Who told you you were naked? Who told you that? It's a deceiver from the beginning. He hates you. They hate you. Inwardly, they're ravenous wolves. They hate you. They only exist to hate you. Their will is only to do the will of their Father. There is no love in them. They hate you. And the bots will do whatever they say. Remember that. Remember, I told you this stuff because it's not of me. They're all dead already. Doesn't matter what they say. And no doubt in the collapse, they already know where people are going to run. Maybe not at first, but when it starts to get super real, they're going to run to the church where they feel safe and comfortable. Yeah, show up here. We got you. But it's they, and they hate you. And inwardly, they're ravenous wolves. And they already know how stupid they are. The average zombie person, they already know that. People are stupid. They're even stupider, though, because they deceive the masses, yet they too are deceived. They don't get it. They don't know the deal. They think Satan's going to award them. It's going to be quite the opposite. Always focus on what God has in store for us. Don't focus on this illusion so much. Your only job here is to pull people out of the fire with the truth. Don't get bogged down in side stuff. People, like I said, you're the general. You follow nobody but the truth. You're the general. Don't get pulled back into that world, or you will get annihilated. But I don't think there'll be much of that. They went out from us, but we're not of us. I think in the collapse, it's going to be pretty serious. Like, God will bring people to you, or you to people. It's not going to be your decision. You're not your own. You're only, like I said, you pray Christ Jesus, use this body as a vessel to glorify you. And bless me with knowledge, wisdom, and guidance, and the understanding to use it. Or take me out of this world. And that's what I prayed. Like I said, I think I prayed it like a couple times over like a month or two. But the last time I said, or get me out of here. I don't want to be out there or in the illusion. I don't want to be any of this. And that's when that was it. You're right back here. And like I said, I was honored. I said, don't give up on me. You know, I'm trying. But like I said, I was a little bit of a dumbass. But that's all right. Because we all are a little bit of a dumbass. And because he has great patience, he stuck with me. And because of that, I will spend the rest of time here telling people stuff, the truth. Doesn't even have to be about the serpents. They're not going to get it. The bots. That has no value to hippie Jesus people. To hippie you got to come at it from like an individual thing. They got to figure it out. I could put them on that track and tell them everything, but until they get it, they don't get it. And that's just what it is. And that's what it always has been. Like I said, I looked into it a little bit. Deuteronomy. They didn't get it back then. But remember back in Deuteronomy 29, 40 years, I think it says, you didn't need food. You didn't need clothes or shoes or nothing, so that you would know that I am the Lord your God. Remember that when this place collapses, you are hidden with Christ in God. Refer to when the townspeople, the church, the synagogue, took him up on top of that hill and were going to kill him. Just went out from them. He was hidden with God. Christ was hidden with God then. That's how he just strolled out of there. We are hidden with Christ in God. Can't bypass Christ again. There it is. Can't bypass him. Hidden with Christ in God. You can't bypass him. Some people think that they're just going to, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, right? They just live by that, or they think they do. They can't bypass Christ. We are covered in the blood of Christ, and you need to acknowledge that. You can't go right to God because per that, the Old Testament, we've all failed. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. That's why we can't. You can't bypass Christ, or instantly you're dead. Insta dead. You think you've fallen short of the glory of God? You think you can do better? Okay. Insta dead. Just that fast. Remember that. Get to a point. Like I said, I can do this in real life. Get to that point. Then you know he knows you, and that he knows that you're out here either learning or being renewed in knowledge. Some of you ain't got it yet. Might take a minute. Renewed in knowledge. But once you can see then your other spiritual gifts you get, everybody has something. Every one of you is special. It just takes a minute. Like I said, you hear the disciples talk about their long suffering. No doubt you've heard about my long suffering. It's not easy until you get it. It takes a minute, but then once you get it, you're totally content. There's no fear. There's nothing, no real anything, really. I don't really remember much either. I just remember, like when I was a kid, I was either in a church or I said I'd be out in the woods. Be out in the woods. That's how I grew up in Wisconsin. Just as basic can be. Just remember that. Don't listen to these worldly people with worldly minds. All their biblical scholars and stuff have zero, and even worse, because they're telling people stuff, thinking, and also we talked about how it gives the appearance of wisdom when they stand up there in their robes or their fancy suits and such. It gives the illusion, the appearance, it says, of wisdom. But it's nothing. They have nothing. Tim Morgan, another shill. We'll do another Epstein video for the shills. We'll show how he didn't die and he's still around. Just saying. Isn't it funny how people, the shills, show up on a channel they would have no business on? The amount of hours over the years, like since these journals and stuff, I've probably been getting shilled like that, trying to tell people stuff from many different angles. But as I said, this book, the vine, it all runs into that vine. And that's why you can match stuff up as I did a long time ago. Old Testament, New Testament, all funnels into. That people have to tap into. Forget the shills. They have no value. I don't care if they shill this. They have no value. The value they have is showing you. It's just showing you what it says. There'll be scoffers, mockers. It doesn't matter because they're all dead already, or they're not real. They're just AI bots. spending massive amounts of their lifetime listening to what I say. There's no deception in it's not of me. Period. No, any more than it was of them. But they knew it. They went out from us, but were not of us, or they would have never left. Also, note the bootleg stuff the shills say. That's also a learning tool. Bootleg stuff gives them away. So just let them talk. Because they have no value. None of them have any value. None of the politicians, none of the top brass. Worldwide, Satan is done with them. All. Be aware of that. What's coming upon this place? It's coming for they. God's done with they. That's the summary of everything you've heard here tonight. And God be done with you too, if you're still in this world. He's done with everything. This world done. I mean, done. Cease to exist. New heaven, new earth type of done. Done. Don't be in here when it's done. Don't perish in here. That's the most important thing. Overcome the world, come out of the world. And the best I can tell you is, like I said, you got to do the individual thing. But the best I can tell you is, as this place shuts off, shut off with it. You're going to have to figure it out in real time. But at least you're figuring it out. You're aware something's wrong with this place. And what's wrong with it is zero of it's real, except for this book. And a few humans who God has hardened their hearts. And to the best of my ability, I looked back as far as I could go, and I think it says, because they're from a rebellious house. Also, like the shill just said, it's like being on an acid trip listening to me. No doubt. No doubt. It would be the same if I had a church of people here. So if let's say 5 of you were understanding what I was talking about, and the whole rest of the church didn't. It'd be like, who's this person? What is he talking about? They can't understand it. As the speaking in tongues. They don't get it. Though I'm speaking English very clearly, they don't get it. Acid trip. Yeah. It's probably a lot like that when you listen to us. But you're the ones on the acid trip, because this place isn't real. Again, it's just mind-boggling, the amount of hours they've spent trying to shill and do nothing but prove the Bible real. I hope you guys learned stuff from my stuff, because I care about each and every one of you. Even the dumbasses on here. Hopefully they get it too. The haters. Or if they don't, it's a wrap. They'll perish in this world. Don't perish in this world. But they'll see. January 5th. I don't know if they're going to postpone it. The airlines don't like it. So if you type in airlines in January 5th, you'll see what they're going to activate. Also, from a worldly standpoint, notice how the airlines are shutting down. Lack of workers, lack of whatever worldly explanation. But why are they shutting down? Are they shutting down because the activation is going to happen January 5th? Look it up. January 5th, airlines. Are they going to activate the mark of the beast? January 5th. They're pleading to postpone it. But again, there's a reason why they're showing that, or you would never see it. Just worldly information. Roy Ruff 90 says, I like how this guy bans people who actually watch him and call them fake. Is that the best you got? Zelda fan. Ban whoever I want to ban. What are you going to do about it? Say some bootleg stuff. You're gone. They all saw it too. Like I said, when I started this, I don't care if I have 10 million people watching this stuff, because very few will find it. This is for the very few. This is 23 people here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like 5 to 7 of us that were real. And you better understand it. Better tap into that vine, be reborn, born again, or you're dead already. You better produce fruit as well, or you're dead already. So you can go on shilling stuff or sitting on the sidelines. Let me know how that works for you. Just like everyone else I've told for the last half my lifetime. I don't even know how long. They don't care. So be it. Let God's will be done. It's part of your learning process as well, because we try to tell those closest to us when we wake up, and they don't care. It's a process you have to go through. It's not for them. It's going to be their individual game they have to play as well. Remember that. You're the general. Don't follow anyone but the truth. They can't fake that. Well, they're stupid biblical scholars and teachers and all of it. They're all whack. They ain't got even 1% of what I got altogether. And you continue to be renewed in knowledge and do what you're doing, and you'll get there. Ask and you will be given. He's not going to let you down. It just doesn't happen instantly. You got to commit to it, and he'll commit to you. Great patience he had with me shows it. He's not just going to give up on you. But I'm going to wrap this up now. Just remember how special and how rare you are. Remember that. Remember how completely useless and irrelevant the shills are. And just about everyone else you see on a daily basis. How irrelevant they really are. Just filler, dead already. Remember that. All completely irrelevant. All exists for you. It all exists for you because you are extremely special. That's why the shills show up here. Just to show you how special you are. Or they wouldn't show up here. That alone should show you that. God bless each and every one of you. Like I said, this is kind of like part 2. Yesterday was like part 1. And we'll just keep going with these journals and stuff. Remember how special you are. They have no authority over you. You have full authority to tread upon them. All glory to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins and will return. I'm grateful to have each and every one of you. I will talk to you all tomorrow.